that might benefit both of us. I can see you better and you're clear.
We all get tired of waiting, and I was thinking of our friends in Texas this week. It wasn't long ago they waited and waited and waited for rain. They went through about, I think it was a 7 years drought, and they waited for rain and prayed for rain. Now they're waiting for the rain to stop. And I heard one statistic that only 5% of the large state of Texas is dry, and the rest has adequate water. The man said, God, how long is 1,000,000 years? God said, to me it's about a minute. The man said, God, how much is $1,000,000? God said, to me it's a penny. The man said, God, may I have a penny? And God said, wait a minute. God's waiting and our waiting can be two different things. But in our world today, it's fast-paced, and it seems no one wants to wait. We want things now. And there's a very annoying commercial on TV. It's about banking. And these people, they interview all these people, and they say, it's my money and I want it now. It's my money and I want it now. Just on and on. They want it now. We don't want to wait for our food sometimes. We have instant food. We have 3-minute rice, and we have instant pudding. I've found that instead of getting a frying pan out, turning on the stove, putting grease in the pan, cracking the eggs, putting them in, and scrambling and waiting for the eggs to scramble, I can break them in a bowl, stir them up, set my microwave for 1 minute and 45 seconds, and I've got scrambled eggs. I want instant oatmeal. Takes 1 minute and 45 seconds. My Keurig takes about a minute. Put it in a little cup. Have my coffee and my oatmeal, and I'm ready to go. We have fast food restaurants. And often if you have to wait 2 minutes at a fast food restaurant, they'll apologize. I'm sorry for the wait. In a hurry. I went into Thoman's the other day and I asked the cashier, how are you doing? And with a sigh on this chilly day, she said, I'm waiting for spring. Just can hardly wait. There's a bank that advertises, we take the wait out of banking. And in this one, there's a guy and he's out fishing and he says, fish, and the fish pops up. And he says, fire, and the fire is there. Everything is instant, but it's to advertise the banking. It's one thing that children have to learn. You just have to wait. Just have to wait. There are times. Little Jimmy Dickens had a song about taking a cold tater and waiting. And when he was a child, he had to wait. And he said it was hard to wait with chicken on the plate. He had a cold tater. But the children had to eat last. Had to learn to wait. And of course, everybody has heard the kids, are we there yet? No, we're not. If you're a Chicago Cub fan, you've been waiting a long time for a World Series. They've been waiting 107 years for a World Series, as far as I know. I don't know, they're doing pretty well this year. But waiting and waiting. We wait in lines. I wonder how much time out of our lives is spent just waiting in line for something. I read that the average wait in a doctor's, and we call it a waiting room, the average wait in the doctor's waiting room is 23 minutes. 23 minutes. Parents wait 9 months after a child is conceived. It's worth waiting for, but we wait 9 months. At times we wait impatiently. A woman's car was stalled in traffic. She looked under the hood, couldn't find anything wrong with it. The driver behind her just sat on the horn. Finally, she had had enough, and she walked back to him and said very sweetly, "I don't know what's the matter with my car, but if you'd go look under the hood, I'll be glad to honk your horn for you." And sometimes we're in such a hurry, we don't want to wait, that we miss warning signs. Here's Shirley's joke. It's a rabbi and a minister. They're standing by the road. And they have a sign. Warning, turn back. The end is near. God comes speeding by in his fancy sports car, goes right by the rabbi and the minister standing there with the signs. They hear a squealing of brakes. They hear a screeching of tires and a big splash. The rabbi turns to the minister. "Maybe we just should have held up the sign, bridge out." Thank you, Shirley. Now, the Bible has a lot of examples of waiting, and I just listed a few. Remember, Mary and Martha waited for Jesus. They said, "You know, if you had just hurried up and gotten here, our brother would not have died." Jesus delayed. He made them wait. Abraham waited until he was 100, and Sarah waited until she was 99 to have the promise fulfilled, to have Isaac. Joseph waited for 2 years in a prison, paying for something he had not done. The Israelite nation wandered for 40 years. They had to wait to get to the promised land. The Bible says that the farmer waits. James 5:7. See how the farmer waits for the land to yield its valuable crop, and how patient he is for the autumn and spring rains. You know, Jacob waited. He worked for Laban. He waited for Rachel for 7 years. I don't know if you all know it. Jeannie and I dated for 6 years. I waited for Jeannie for 6 years. The Bible said to Jacob, it seemed like only a few days. For me, it seemed like 6 years. And the different times in the Psalms, the psalmist cries out, "How long, O Lord? How long?" And sometimes he's waiting to be delivered from some affliction. Other times he looks at the world and he sees that the world is wicked, and he wonders, how long is the Lord going to wait before he deals with these wicked people? We know that Simeon waited for the coming of the Christ child, and he worked day by day in the temple and served there. And then he received the blessing of seeing the Christ. The people I mentioned from the Bible were all waiting on God, or waiting for God. And while they were doing this, they were learning patience, and they were allowing God to work in their lives. So waiting is not wasted time. Waiting can be very productive. Waiting does not have to be negative. Waiting can actually be enjoyable. I know Jeannie and I think it was at Bob Evans. Jeannie and I were at Bob Evans one time, and we had ordered, and we were sitting there, and it was taking a long time, and the waitress came out and said, "Boy, I'm sorry this is taking a long time." And I said, "It's okay, we like each other." I mean, here we were relaxed. Well, I got to look at her, and she got to look at me, and we were chatting, we were relaxing. We didn't mind waiting a little bit for our food, but here again, she assumed that we were getting restless. David Hostetler told me that he flew to Colorado recently, and he was in the lobby there in the airport, and he said he realized after a while, everyone but Dave had their little gizmos out, their phones and whatever, and their thumbs were just going. Dave was sitting there with a book. They were waiting with their little electronic gadgets. Dave was waiting with the book. And a couple of people walked up to Dave and wanted to know, what are you reading? Well, he was reading a book about Benjamin Franklin. And this began a conversation. Nobody walks up to somebody on the phone and says, what game are you playing? Or whom are you texting? But the book got attention. It was a productive time of waiting. So when you're standing in a long line, do you just stand there and gripe, or maybe turn to the stranger next to you and start a little conversation? It might be productive. Isaiah 30:18. And therefore will the Lord wait. That's not the verse I wanted. Just wait a minute. Yeah, it is. And therefore will the Lord wait, that he may be gracious unto you, and therefore will he be exalted, that he may have mercy upon you. For the Lord is a God of judgment. Blessed are all they who wait for him. Lamentations. The Lord is good unto them that wait for him. So when we wait for the Lord, it is productive waiting. It's not just something to do while we're waiting to get what we want. It can be a process of becoming what God wants us to be. It's not a passive waiting, just waiting around for something to happen. And I remember I had 2 students in Texas who, they got involved with I would call it a sect, a certain group. And this group said that the Lord was coming that year, and they were just convinced the Lord was going to return that year. And so these students scrapped all their plans, all their college plans. I don't know if they quit their jobs, but they were just going to sit there and wait for the Lord. Well, I don't know how long they sat and waited, but this is not the idea. We continue living while we're waiting. A good example of waiting productively is in Jeremiah 29. This was an account of the Israelites who had been carried from Jerusalem to Babylon, and they were in captivity. And they were just kind of lost. They didn't know what to do. And this is what Jeremiah told them. Build houses. You're in a foreign land, you're in captivity, but build houses. Plant gardens. Eat. Give your daughters in marriage. Marry. But while you're doing all this, seek the peace and prosperity of the city. When 70 years are completed, I will come to you and fulfill my promise. They were told they had to wait 70 years, but in the meantime, don't just sit there and cry about it. Don't just sit there and be paralyzed. Do something. Continue to live. So waiting on the Lord involves a trust and acknowledging that God is in control. It's allowing God to work with us, or sometimes work on us, I guess. We're waiting here at Bethel. We're waiting for a pastor. We're not just sitting around twiddling our thumbs. We're having funerals. We're having graduation teas. We're having worship every Sunday morning. We're managing to get someone to the pulpit every Sunday morning. We're having an evening service. We're working at Daily Bread, and we can go on and on. We haven't stopped working for the Lord just because we're waiting for a pastor. Life hasn't stopped. Did you know that the missionary William Carey waited 7 years before his first convert? 7 years before his first convert. What did he do the first 6? Well, he wasn't just waiting around. He was preaching and he was witnessing, and it bore fruit. Here's an example from, I guess, botany. I never knew this. The Chinese bamboo tree is one of the most remarkable plants on earth. Once the gardener plants a seed, he will see nothing but a single shoot coming out of the bulb for 5 years. The tiny shoot must have daily food and water. During all the time the gardener is caring for the plant, the exterior shoot will grow less than 1 inch. At the end of 5 years, however, the Chinese bamboo will perform an incredible feat. It will grow an amazing 90 feet tall in 90 days. Now, ask yourself, when did the tree actually grow? During the first 5 years or during the last 90 days? The answer lies in the unseen part of the tree, the underground root system. During the first 5 years, the root structure spreads deep and wide, preparing to support the incredible height the tree will eventually reach. An oak or a mushroom. It's been said that when God wants to grow mushrooms, He can do it overnight. But when He wants to grow a mighty oak, it takes a few years. What do you want to be, a mushroom or an oak? If you want to be an oak, it's worth the wait. So we, like the bamboo, can grow as we wait. We wait for God expectantly and patiently. And, you know, we're not the only one who waits. The other side of the coin is that God waits for us. God waits for us. How long did He wait for you and for me to come to Him and to accept Him? He waited a while. He waited a while. I didn't respond the first time I felt the Spirit moving within me. So God waits for us. A good example would be the parable of the prodigal son, where you have the father waiting expectantly for the son to return. The Bible says he saw the son afar off and he accepted him. If we have strayed from the Father, He waits for us to return. In Peter, we see that the Lord is not slack concerning His promise, but He's long-suffering. He's long-suffering. He waits for people to come to Him. He waited in the days of Noah before He punished the earth. He waited before He destroyed Sodom. He even waited to deal with King Ahab, a very wicked king. And we can think of other examples. Someone said that if God had been a man, He would have wiped mankind out. He wouldn't have waited. If He was a man, He would have hastily done that. So, as I was thinking about God's capacity for waiting, I was thinking about myself. In what ways is God exercising His patience in my life? What is He waiting for me to do? To truly make Him Lord of my life? To restore broken relationships? To rid myself of bad habits? To get rid of prejudices? Just to listen to Him? What is God waiting? How is He waiting for me? How is He waiting for you? And if you're waiting for me, I'm on my last page of notes. And what about Bethel Church? You know, we say we're waiting for God. We're waiting for God's guidance. We're waiting for God to lead. Maybe He has. Maybe He's waiting for us. Maybe He's waiting for us. To restore relationships, perhaps. To heal hurts. To unite. To reestablish trust. To move forward as we serve Him in this community. And while God waits for us, we wait for His second coming. We wait for His second coming. You know, there's a well-known drama called Waiting for Godot. And in this drama, there are two characters. And they're waiting for Godot. And they're always talking about Godot is coming, Godot is coming. Well, you know what? Godot never shows up in that play. There's no character in the play named Godot. But it just shows what they're doing while they're waiting. We have the assurance that we do not wait in vain, that our Lord is coming again. And so we wait expectantly and confidently, and while we wait, we have work to do.